When Nora found the old leather diary in a thrift shop, she thought it would help her write again. She'd been a novelist once before the accident, before the guilt swallowed her whole. Now, she just wanted a place to start over, to find the words she'd lost. The diary was blank when she bought it. The pages were clean, crisp, and empty. But when she opened it the next morning, words were already written on the first page. In her own handwriting, it read, "I can't sleep. The scratching in the walls won't stop." She froze. She lived alone. There were no rats in her small apartment, no scratching, and certainly no explanation for how her own handwriting appeared in a book she hadn't touched. Her heart hammered against her ribs. She cautiously turned the page. More words began to appear. Slowly, as if an invisible hand was etching them onto the paper right before her eyes. "It's closer tonight." It knows. I can hear it. She slammed the book shut, her breath catching in her throat. But curiosity, as it always does, won the battle against fear. She opened it again the next day, her hands trembling, and saw a date written at the top of a new page. Tomorrow. Each day, a new entry appeared. Each one described her life exactly as it would happen. It detailed conversations she would have, the meals she would eat, even the secret, fleeting thoughts that crossed her mind. At first, she dismissed it as a bizarre coincidence. But when the diary started predicting things that hadn't happened yet, she realized this was something else entirely. Something impossible. One entry read, "I dropped the glass at 3:12. The blood wouldn't stop." The next day, at exactly 3:12 in the afternoon, a water glass slipped from her fingers, shattering on the kitchen floor. A shard of glass sliced her hand, and the wound bled for what felt like an eternity. Panicked, she decided she had to destroy it. She took the diary outside and tried to set it on fire, but the flames refused to catch. The paper only turned black for a moment, and then, impossibly, it healed itself, the scorched marks vanishing as if they'd never been there. "Defeated!" She brought it back inside. The next morning, new words had appeared, this time on the very final page of the book. "You can't destroy me! You made me!" She stared at the ink, her voice a barely audible whisper. "What do you mean?" Another line materialized beneath the first. "You wrote me before the crash. I was your last story." The date at the top of the page changed, shifting back in time to the night of the accident. Her chest tightened, a cold dread seeping into her bones. She remembered. Driving home from a book signing, the blinding glare of headlights, the screech of tires. A scream, her last memory before waking up in a world shrouded by guilt. But she had survived. Hadn't she? Trembling, she flipped to the very end of the diary. There was one final, chilling sentence waiting for her. "You never survived. Nora, I'm what's left of you, the story, still being written." She looked up, her gaze falling upon her own reflection in the dark window. The reflection smiled back at her, a wide, knowing grin, but it didn't move when she did. Then, slowly, her body began to fade. Her hands dissolved, letter by letter, her form turning into words that lifted off her skin and vanished into the air, until only the diary remained on the table, open to a fresh, blank page. And the pen beside it began to move. A week later, the thrift shop owner straightened the books on a dusty shelf. He noticed an old leather diary he didn't remember putting there. It looked clean, untouched, waiting for its next owner. Some stories aren't written by Oste. Finish us instead.